According to Pat Ragazzo of Sports Illustrated, the Mets recently made a one-year offer to Jose Iglesias, but he is seeking a multi-year deal. And he goes on to say that after the Nick Madrigal signing, the Mets are pretty full in infielders, but they don't have a backup shortstop unless Acuna is in the MLB opening day. I guess he was trying to say roster or lineup, but basically Acuna needs to be on the team as the only other guy that could play shortstop. In this video, I'm going to be reacting to the Jose Iglesias rumor, the news, and give my take on it if I feel he's worth a multi-year deal, what he could provide for the Mets. If you like this video, going over the latest rumors slash news because the signing has not happened quite yet, make sure to hit the like button out of the ballpark. Slide into the comment section. What are your thoughts on the rumor that the Mets are looking to bring back Jose Iglesias and that they offered him a one-year deal? Do you feel they should offer him multiple years, or should they just stick with the one-year offer? And if you're new here, you want to make my day, you can subscribe. It's always greatly appreciated. And to those who are subscribed already, you know the drill. I mean, you can tell your favorite singer. I mean, maybe if Candelita is your favorite singer, you can tell him to subscribe. So let's talk about Jose Iglesias, aka Candelita, aka the OMG man. So it's important to consider that when the New York Mets got him this past season, it was on a minor league deal. So to go from a minor league contract to a multi-year deal is a pretty big upgrade. But it is important to remember the kind of season that he had for the Mets, as he batted .337 and had an OPS of .830 and only played in a little over 80 games, yet still had a 3.1 WAR, which is wins above replacement. So that is still a very solid number, and he did that in half a season. And we look a little more at Iglesias' numbers, there's even more things to like. Last year against left-handed pitching, he batted .402 with a .999 OPS. I mean, that is just absolutely amazing. So that's another thing that he did really well for this team. And speaking of batting .400, he also batted .404 at Citi Field with also an OPS of .999. So maybe he was just motivated by his song playing in Citi Field and he wanted to hear it as many times as possible, so he was getting on base so his other guys could hit it out of the ballpark. Another stat I like from Iglesias is that he batted .375 with runners in scoring position and had an OPS of .902. Now the postseason was not nearly as good for him, as he batted .227 with the OPS of .488 and was not coming through nearly as much with runners in scoring position. He also made a crucial error against the Dodgers that almost lost that game for the Mets, but they were able to prevail with their offense. But he still does other things to provide value for your team. So one of the other things that Jose Iglesias did is that since Mark Vientos is not a great defensive third baseman, a lot of times the Mets would bring in Jose Iglesias late in games as a defensive replacement. Pat Ragazzo was talking about the Mets needing a backup shortstop for Lindor. I mean, that would be in case Lindor missed time again with the back. But overall, Acuna does not play third base. So for me, if I'm talking about a backup infielder, and I love Luis Angel Acuna, but if I'm talking about a backup infielder, utility player, I want the guy that plays all of the infield positions, not just middle infield, because what if Vientos needs time off? Who's going to third? You're not putting McNeil there. You're not putting Lindor there. I mean, and Madrigal, he could play third, but he just shouldn't really be on the roster to begin with. That's going to be a whole nother video another day. And Brett Beatty's not the answer either. So I just feel like Jose Iglesias, if you're talking about who should be your backup infielder, provides you so much more value. And I'm just very confused why Nick Madrigal would potentially block bringing back Jose Iglesias when Nick Madrigal was signed to a split contract because he has just not been good offensively. Meanwhile, this guy, like I was saying, was literally hitting .400 in Citi Field. And like I mentioned earlier, wasn't as good in the postseason. Fine. It's a one-year deal. Maybe it's a fluke. I mean, you do have to consider that he was not in baseball in 2023. So maybe we thought he was potentially going to be out of the league. But still, I would not let Nick Madrigal prevent bringing back Jose Iglesias. I mean, I just would not do that, because even if Jose Iglesias is not hitting great, I think he's still better than Nick Madrigal, because one of the other things that Iglesias has, he was in the 83rd percentile in sprint speed. So, I mean, he still could do a lot of different things for your team. If you need him to run, he still has good hands. He can still field. So even if he's not hitting, he still could provide value. Oh, and by the way, he can still make another song for you, or just keep the song he has going and just still bring those vibes. But what I always liked about Iglesias too was that he always ran hard. I mean, it could be a dribbler, it could be like a swinging bunt, and he is busting it down to first base no matter what the score is. And I think that is very inspiring to the rest of the team. And this is a team that everyone on this roster hustles very well. Iglesias did some training in the offseason to become a different player. And I mean, you saw a little more power from him. I mean, he did have 2 home runs in the same game of like his 4 home runs for the regular season, so that was pretty interesting. But other than that, Iglesias also did a great job of not striking out, and he's someone that when he swings the bat, he is going to hit the ball. Now, Sometimes did he swing at pitches he shouldn't have? Yeah, but he fouled them off. So he's still providing valuable at-bats. So even, again, if he's not putting up numbers, if he's not giving you batting average base hits, if he's still fouling off pitches, still working the count, and that's your backup infielder, that's fine. I mean, you will live with that. So do I think the Mets should offer him a multi-year deal considering that he is 35? Probably not. But I think one of the things they could consider, because maybe what's happening right now around the league is they're saying, you know what, this guy's 35 now, out of baseball 2023. Maybe it was just one fluke year. Maybe it was just a one-year thing, and we're not going to see this kind of thing happen again. I think what the Mets could do is very similar to a deal that they did with Pete Alonso last night, where offer him a 2-year deal. Give him a lot of money this year, as maybe call like a 1-year deal. There's no such bad thing as a 1-year deal. You already have a very high payroll, so what's the difference? And then give him a player option for a second year that pays less. So that if Iglesias is like, you know what, now that I put 2 great years, someone's got to pay me now, he could opt out, and then maybe he does get that multi-year deal. But if he has a bad season or he's not quite what he was looking for, he could opt in at a lower number, stay with the team. So he gets everything he wants. He could get a multi-year deal because 2 counts as multi. I don't know exactly how many years they're looking for. Regazzo didn't say. But I feel like it just kind of accomplishes everything that Iglesias is looking for right now. We have not really seen many other teams connected to Iglesias, so, I mean, maybe there is not much of a market for him. So if the Mets want to do what they do best, and that is play the patient game, play the waiting game, and see how it plays out, they could do that and just wait for Iglesias to accept the 1-year deal that they've offered, because maybe nobody gives him the multi-year deal. So I do hope that he accepts the 1-year deal. I feel like he wants to stay here. I mean, the Mets gave him a chance last year when a lot of teams wouldn't, and they helped take his music career to the next level with the way the fans and the team embraced him and really wanted him to play the song. Because, I mean, don't forget, he did not want to play the song. That was supposed to be just a thing on the side. But then in the minor leagues, JD Martinez said, you know, Jose Iglesias, you should bring this song to the big league team. This is really good. And he did. And then the team said, okay, now we should make this our song when we hit home runs. So the team really helped elevate this song. So if the team didn't embrace it so much, it would not have become the big hit that it did. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully we'll see Jose Iglesias as a New York Met once again very soon. Have a great day, and let's go Mets!